SHW, this is our wrestling.
Unbelievable. Oh my goodness.
Live from the Action Building in Canton, Georgia.
This is insane.
Welcome to the SHW27 pre-show.
Are you kidding me right now? Hey, what is going on here? The action is fast and furious. You never know who's going to show up in SHW.
Brandon Benefield and Gerard Bonner.
Business is about to pick up. This place just went ballistic. I've had this incredible feeling all day long that it's going to be a very, very special night. And we're just about an hour away from what's going to be an incredible night here at SHW27.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Of course, we've got 7 huge matches coming up here later tonight. We initially had 8. Of course, we found out in the last couple days, we found out that number 1 contenders match for the tag team titles, due to a medical situation. One of the competitors for Honor Society, Kevin Ryan, is not cleared to be here. So management went ahead and made the decision that Technical Excellence, Chip Day, Kyle Matthews will go ahead and advance and be the number 1 contenders.
So let's lay the scenario out in case you did not know what was supposed to happen. Was a number 1 contenders match between Technical Excellence and the Honor Society, the winners of which would immediately get a tag team title match against Lethal Poison. Now, we have talked about this on the podcast previously, that we really questioned how fair this was to either of the number 1 contending teams. Because last month they fought a 20-minute draw. They were going to literally go whatever the distance was and then have a title match after that. This completely changes the complexion of this title match. Because now you're looking at a situation with a fresh Technical Excellence. And this changes the game when they take on Lethal Poison tonight. You've got to now consider them as favorites potentially to win this match tonight.
Absolutely. You got Technical Excellence coming in fresh, like you said. So
coming in hot.
You know, and we talked about it. We had a preview show a couple weeks ago on a podcast with Diana Michelle, of course, where we went through the entire card, talked about all the matches, and that was one of our big concerns. Was that whichever team won the match between Honor Society and Technical Excellence. Yeah, you're exactly right. They weren't going to be fresh because they would immediately have to fight for the titles. And I didn't think that was fair, but again, I don't make the rules. I don't make the matches. It is what it is.
It is.
But now I'm feeling a little better for Technical Excellence for their chances.
I feel a lot better. You know, the first time that we even heard the idea that Chip Day and Kyle Matthews were coming together as a tag team, we immediately were like, this is a dream team, and they belong in the tag team title hunt. And now they're getting that opportunity, a fair shake finally at the Tag Team Champions. This is going to be an incredible night tonight and an incredible match as a part of SHW27.
I cannot wait. I mean, this whole card is just stacked from top to bottom. Let's talk about Bam Bam Ben Buchanan going to be going one-on-one with the loudest mouth in the South, AC Mack. Here's a match, and I'll be honest with you, these two guys, I never really pictured them competing against each other. But yet here we are, and now that I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it is going to be awesome. I think this is going to be a very unique pairing. On one end, you've got AC Mack, of course, a former SHW champion. Really, since he's been back this year, he's been almost unbeatable. You know, and so you have that against Ben Buchanan, who I honestly feel like has all the potential in the world and is still trying to find his footing here at SHW. Last month, he was part of a tag title match with his dad, and it seemed like there was some friction going on there, which I can't imagine friction between a father and a son. But you've got that happening here. Tonight could be a stellar night for Ben Buchanan. If he can figure out the cheat code to defeat AC Mack, we'll be looking at a completely different scenario for Ben Buchanan.
Yes, he's an absolute blue chipper. He's got everything it takes, all the tools that it takes to go to the next level here in professional wrestling.
Yes.
And, of course, here in the next level at SHW.
Absolutely.
But you're right, that W just seems to evade him. But he's had some really great matches against some really hard opponents, and he just hasn't quite gotten over that hump. And so can he do it here tonight against AC Mack? If he does, we won't hear the end of it.
No, we
AC
won't.
Mack will.
We won't.
He's the loudest mouth in the South.
But then on the other side, this is a question you have to ask. You know, last month we talked about our questions as to whether or not Ben Buchanan should have been in that tag team title match that he had last month.
Right.
He got that title match with that team of him and his father, never competing as a team here in SHW.
Yep.
If he gets that win tonight over a former SHW champion, are we now considering him in the title picture given what's happened with the tag championship?
It should be interesting. And the other thing, you mentioned his dad there, too. There seems to be a bit of friction over the last couple months between Bull and Ben.
Absolutely.
If it's just frustration from not getting the win,
Sure.
or if there's actually bad blood between the two, we don't know.
Yeah.
But it just has been a little interesting. And we don't know if Bull's going to be here tonight in Ben's corner. If he is, could that come into play during the match? We don't know. But either way, it's going to be one heck of a match.
It really will be.
And I'm under the understanding, I believe that's the one that's going to be kicking off the show. So
Is that
kicking
right?
it off
Wow.
in style here for SHW27. And like I said, every single match on this card is going to be insane. But speaking of insane,
it's a big one.
I don't know that this ring, I hope that it's been reinforced.
I hope so, too.
Because we've seen Cyrus the Destroyer destroy the ring. I believe that was his debut, wasn't it? Where he broke the ropes.
Yes.
And he's finally going to be going one-on-one. These two behemoths finally going to do battle. The Incredible Huck, William Huckabee, taking on Cyrus the Destroyer.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of bad blood going back and forth between these two for the last few months. And finally, I'm excited to see these two men get their hands on each other one-on-one.
Absolutely. These guys have really been like ships passing in the night since November of 2020. That is a lot has changed in our world since November of 2020.
Yep.
And these two guys, we've been wondering when they would butt heads, when they would finally meet, and it's going to happen tonight. And I got to tell you, I am excited and nervous at the same time about this, because the last time these two were in a ring together, literally the ring broke. The ring literally broke. And I got to say this, too. This is going to be the first singles match we've seen for Huck since being a part of All-Star Special.
Right.
And we've seen a different, kinder, gentler Huck. He dances now. He does sing-alongs now.
It's kind of the highlight of the month. We have the Canton SHW Children's Choir comes out here.
You're right.
Sings along with the entrance music, whatever it may be this month.
Yes.
They have a jukebox. They throw a new quarter in every time.
That's right.
I guess in these days it's $1. It's not
inflation.
Yeah, used to be a quarter back in my day.
Right.
But anyway, so who knows what it's going to be this week or this month? But I'm excited to find out. And but you're right. Yeah, it's a much different Huck than we saw over a year ago.
But the thing with that, though, is I don't think that the Huck that we saw against Joe Black at the top of 2020 is gone, right?
Yeah,
I don't think he's gone. I think he's still very much here. And I think we're going to see him have to go back and lean on that version of Huck if he's going to survive in this match with Cyrus.
Sure.
Because Cyrus is an angry man. He's never a happy man.
I've never once seen. I've only seen him smile when he's delivering punishment to his opponent.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. So it's going to make for a very intriguing match tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Two literal bulls battling tonight. It's going to be crazy. Again, to your point, I hope the ring is reinforced for this.
It's going to be insane.
Absolutely.
And, there's a guy that's going to be making his in-ring debut tonight here at Southern Honor Wrestling. Not his debut in general, but just specifically here at SHW. And, of course, that's the outlandish one. Zicky Dice. And I got to tell you, GB, I don't know if you see him. He's over in the crowd, and I can't tell. We got a light in our eyes, but I can't tell if it's is it a bright pink or a bright orange jacket, perhaps?
Well,
but he's got his Twitch stream that he does live. And he does. He did, in fact, just recently he did like a full 24-hour Twitch stream, which is insane.
Yeah.
I talked to him backstage. He said he's still recovering, trying to get his sleep in order from doing that. But if I'm not mistaken, it looks like he's walking around the crowd with his phone out doing some live streaming as we speak here before the show.
So here's the scary part. This time last month, he was among the crowd and we didn't know it.
Right. He was sitting there for the whole
He
half a
sat
show.
there literally from the pre-show for about 2.5 hours, and he sat there in a monkey suit, a gorilla suit, an ape suit.
Yeah.
You know, he will do anything. Now, I've said this on the podcast, and I will say it again. I have to believe that he is one of the biggest acquisitions in the history of Southern Honor Wrestling. We're talking about a guy who was a former NWA World Television Champion, who beat the previous TV champion, who is Ricky Starks, who's doing big things in AEW right now.
Yeah.
You know, and you could argue that Zicky Dice ran him out of NWA. So we're talking about a serious scenario here, an insane Twitch following. Like, this guy is doing incredible things, and he's going to be debuting here tonight inside of the ring against no slouch, the working team captain, Owen Knight.
It's going to be awesome. And, of course, Owen's going to be seeking a little bit of payback after what happened last month.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, and so he was about to kind of get involved with Ashton Starr in the ring.
Yes.
And like you said, coming from the crowd, wearing the mask, came in and snuck up behind Owen Knight, attacked him, and then both Zicky Dice and Ashton Starr laying the boots and attacking Owen Knight in the center of the ring, just leaving him laying there. And, it was pretty insane. And next thing you know, SHW management makes the match. It's going to be Zicky Dice going one-on-one with Owen Knight. And you got to wonder now, we'll get to it in a second, but Ashton also has a singles match tonight. Will he maybe get involved in this match between Zicky and Owen? We don't know.
I just need Ashton to focus on whatever Ashton is supposed to be focused on.
Well, good luck with that.
I know. Good luck with that, right? It doesn't seem to matter. We could praise him for his great documentary. We could find some sympathy for his story, and then he still finds a way to make us not like him. And so I'm hoping that he will, because he has enough to do tonight.
Yeah.
He does not need to be involved with Owen Knight. I really want Owen Knight to finally get his comeuppance, because he's been just getting robbed all year long.
Yeah.
You know, whether it was David Ali at the top of the year, Ashton Starr, all of this craziness, it's time for him to be able to break out. And let's just look at it this way. For all of the noise that Zicky Dice has made, can you imagine Zicky Dice losing this match tonight in his SHW debut? It could easily happen.
Yeah, and he, just like we talked about with AC Mack, Zicky Dice is a talker.
Oh,
he's going to talk a lot
Lord.
about it. He's, that's a lose-lose for us, because he's going to talk about it whether he wins or loses. We're going to hear about it no matter what.
This is very true.
And real quick before we move on to this next match, because I want to get to that Ashton match with Snoop Strikes, but I noticed earlier, too, like I said, Zicky's walking around doing some live streaming here amongst the crowd. Of course, doors opened at 7 p.m. here just about 12 minutes ago, and they're open, so if you're nearby, come on out and join us.
Absolutely.
But he's been doing some live streaming. I had heard through the grapevine he's actually trying to recruit someone to be his personal camera person.
Are you kidding me?
To maybe stream during his match. That's the word on the street. Now, I don't know if he's found anybody, and if that's actually going to happen. I guess we'll find out later. I don't know what number match he is, but we'll find out once he comes out later. But
as we are quickly learning here in SHW, anything is possible when it comes to this Zicky Dice guy.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens with Zicky tonight. Listen, get here to the Action Building, and you can see for yourself what's going to go down.
Absolutely.
Or, I don't know. Maybe follow his Twitch page. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. You mentioned what quite an acquisition he is, coming from the NWA, being an NWA television champion.
Yes.
And he's got quite a following.
He does.
Online, whether it's Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, just social media.
Yeah.
And he's got quite a following. So I know that he's streaming right now, and I don't want you to turn away from us.
No.
But maybe after us, you can go back and check out some of the stuff from that what he's getting amongst the crowd here before the show starts. But I mentioned the Ashton Starr match. Now, let's get to that one. He's going to be facing a guy that we've seen one time here before in SHW. If you watched MLW, you knew him as Cotto Brazil.
Yes.
Here he is Snoop Strikes, and he's coming back, making his SHW return. Before he had a great match against AC Mack. Perhaps even some say a show stealer that night.
Yes.
But as I recall, I don't believe he came away with the win, but he's looking to fix that when he goes one-on-one with the Prince of Petty, Ashton Starr, here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you something. We were very impressed with Snoop Strikes back at SHW27 when he took on AC Mack, and it really was a show stealer for us.
Yeah.
And so I remember at the end of that match, we said we hope we see more of Snoop Strikes. So we got our wish, and quite frankly, I really hope he gives it to Ashton Starr tonight. I know I'm supposed to be impartial, and I am. But I'll just say, I really wish, but with that said, here's the tough part. Ashton Starr, like it or not, has had a winning year.
Yeah.
He has been managing to figure out how to win over and over again, even in the most crazy of circumstances. Now, I don't know if he knows how to handle a Snoop Strikes. Now, granted, he may have seen that type of speed with Varia Morales, but there is something different about Snoop Strikes.
Yeah.
And again, Snoop Strikes is here for the same reason everybody's here. They want to win. They want to make an impact here, because if you make an impact here, there's lots of opportunity for you in the wrestling world.
Absolutely.
So this is going to be a great, great match between these two guys. And I selfishly hope that Ashton Starr gets what's coming to him tonight.
And we'll see. And like you mentioned, he's had a winning year for the most part. I wanted to interject a little bit because he did have that match last month where the captain took him down a peg on his way out the door. And you know that he's bitter about that because he was having such a great year to that point. And so, of course, here tonight he's wanting to correct that.
He'll probably act like it didn't even happen.
Yeah, he'll be like, well, that one didn't count.
Right.
Sean Dean was on his way to AEW.
Right.
So that one didn't count.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's probably what Ashton would say.
I'm pretty sure we could hear him saying that now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll see, though. But you know he's going to want to fix that and get back on the winning track and take it to Snoop Strikes. But like you said, Snoop is no pushover at all.
At all.
And we shall see. That's going to be a good one as well. Well, let's talk about real quick the young woman who was on the main poster for the show this month. I'm talking about the real mean girl, Danny Jordan, making her long-awaited and much-anticipated return to action.
Yes.
She has been here a couple different times throughout since we returned from the pandemic last August.
Yes.
But this will be her first singles match in over a year.
Yes.
And she'll be taking on a familiar face who she fought over a year ago, just over a year ago, Catalina Perez.
That's right.
And our women's match here tonight. And we're excited about this one.
We are very excited. Some have deemed her the queen of SHW, the first lady of SHW. She is the real mean girl.
Yep.
She's Danny Jordan, who will be making her triumphant return to the action building in in-ring competition. Ooh. Now, with that said, that's got to make things tough for Catalina Perez. But here's the other side of it. Who has the most pressure on them in this match? Catalina was not on the poster.
Right.
Nobody's been talking about the massive return of Catalina Perez. They're talking about Danny Jordan. If Danny Jordan does not win tonight, which is a strong possibility, by the way, because she's not had a one-on-one match here in SHW in over a year. Her last opponent was Catalina Perez. And so you got to ask the question, a lot can change in a year. They've both had major changes happen.
Yep.
What kind of Catalina Perez walks in the ring tonight? And here's the flip side. Which version of Danny Jordan do we get tonight?
True.
That's the question.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And like you said, they've both done some big things. They've both appeared with AEW on Dark and Dark Elevation, even a little bit on Dynamite.
Absolutely.
And so here's the thing. You talk about Danny Jordan being the queen of SHW. You know, Gary Lamb even proclaimed her as the queen of SHW.
He did.
Well, Catalina Perez calls herself the Queen Pin.
Exactly.
So you're going to have the Queen Pin versus the Queen of SHW, a.k.a. the real mean girl. And it is going to be one heck of a match. Yeah. And you know Catalina's going to be wanting to make up for the loss that she had over a year ago when she faced Danny last time.
You know what's so interesting about this? Usually when we've talked about Danny Jordan, we've talked about her as, you know, she's made it to AEW, she's done all these things as the standoff, as the one-off to do that.
Right.
Catalina's done the same thing, right?
Yep.
So now the question is, if we've both been in the same places and we've both done the same thing, how much better are you than me actually?
Yeah.
So they're going to get to determine that here tonight, and I can't wait to see it. I'm excited to see Danny Jordan. I'm excited to see Catalina Perez. I think they're going to tear the house down tonight.
I think it's going to be awesome. And the fact, you know, like we said, the fact that she's the poster woman for this show, for SHW27. So the fans they've known it since a month ago.
They have.
And it's just been, the excitement's been building.
Yeah.
And, you know, when she made the surprise appearance as the guest referee for that cage match back in, when was it, January, I believe?
Yes, in January.
Where it was Owen Knight and David Ali.
That's right.
And the roof came off of this place with
Literally.
the crowd, just the level of excitement when she came out as the guest ref.
Yes.
And so I'm imagining that same kind of response when she comes out here tonight for her big return match here at SHW27. And it's going to be insane. And like we said, doors are open. They've been open for about 20 minutes now.
Yes.
If you're anywhere nearby, bell time is 8 o'clock. There are still tickets remaining at the door. Kids 10 and under are free. 261 Marietta Road, Canton, Georgia.
Yes.
SHW27. Come on out. We would love to see you. We've got a great crowd that's been filing in here since doors opened here a little while ago,
right.
GB. And, man, I'm just so excited, as we are every single month. But
absolutely. And we've got good reason to be. Again, people are here. If you want to social distance, the option is available. You can wear your mask. If you don't want to wear your mask, that's fine. If you've been vaccinated, cool. If you haven't, cool. Make your way here. Either way, there is space for you, and it's going to be an incredible night.
So, that's going to bring us to our insane main event of the evening. Now, as far as SHW's history goes, this will be the first ever bunkhouse brawl match.
Yes.
And it's going to be the Team of Fear, Sunny Days, the Monster, the Heathen, Logan Creed. Of course, being accompanied by the Creature of the Night, Ravenna Vane. And that team will be taking on our champion, also, as he would say, your savior, David Ali, teaming with the Chief. The big giant, the big 7-footer, Austin Towers. This is going to be insane. And we talked about this on the podcast, but to the fans at home that are watching right now that might not be super familiar with the bunkhouse match, could you kind of give us a refresher as to what we could expect here?
Certainly. So this whole bunkhouse concept we first saw, of course, in the NWA by the great Dusty Rhodes. It's pretty much a street fight with a whole lot of anything can happen. And the problem with that in this scenario is there's been so much that has happened between these four men over the last 4 to 5 months that it's just out of control what could really go on here. And really, we mentioned 4 to 5 months, but not just the men. It's included Ravenna Vane as well, who's been punted in the head.
And it's a no DQ style match. So she's not technically in the match, but there's no telling if she could get involved.
There's nothing that would stop her from doing anything physical in this match. Anything can potentially happen in this match, and this is not your traditional style of match. There's not going to be frequent tags. This is not going to be, hold on to the tag rope. It's not going to be a bunch of double team moves. It's going to be a Pier 6 brawl. And when you're talking about, and listen, we've seen first blood matches happen here involving these guys. We've seen ladders. We've seen tables. I don't know what they're going to come up with tonight. But I'm actually very nervous about the level of creativity that Fear could have in an environment like this. This is scary stuff, and you got to be here to see it.
It's going to be absolutely insane, and they always seem to take it to another level. And, of course, Gary Lamb, our general manager, likes to always say that here at SHW, we take it to a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
But there's a reason he says that, because that's what always ends up happening. And here we have this bunkhouse brawl match, which is going to be – sorry, I'm a little distracted as I see Zicky Dice in that bright neon jacket walking around – live streaming.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
But so this crazy bunkhouse match is going to be absolutely insane. We don't know what to expect. And see, we say that every month anyway, that we don't know what to expect. But in this style match, we really don't know what to expect. We always say anything but the kitchen sink. Well, in this case,
it could be the kitchen sink.
Very well could pull out a kitchen sink from under the ring. There's always all kinds of stuff under there, so who knows?
Who knows what's under there? And this is interesting, too, because this is the first time since David Ali has been champion that his title has not been on the line in a match like this.
It's true,
So that adds a different level of psychology. On one hand, if you're in a fight defending your title, defending your kingdom, that's one reaction. If you're in a fight not worrying about your championship, could that make them that much more dangerous? That's the question, and we're going to find that out tonight.
You're right, because in this scenario, he technically doesn't have anything to lose.
He has nothing to lose.
So he could
So what chances won't you take if you have nothing to lose?
He could put it all out there and just absolutely go crazy.
He could.
And, of course, he's got that giant in his corner as well.
Who is legally involved in the match.
And that's the thing, too. Like, in his title defenses, you always got to keep an eye on Austin Towers. Because inevitably, he ends up getting involved somehow. And helping the Savior retain the title. And in this case, you're right. He's part of the match. So
it's a scary time.
Even if he wasn't, it's no DQ. So again,
he could be.
Anybody could be involved, and it's just going to be nuts. We don't know what to expect, but we know that the crowd here is in for quite a treat.
They are.
And again, if you're not here yet, but you're nearby, you still have time because we still have 35 minutes until the bell rings to start the show at 8 p.m. sharp. So come on out here. And GB, I don't know if you were staying tuned to social media and Facebook specifically earlier this afternoon, but our general manager, I mentioned him earlier, Gary Lamb, seemed to be teasing quite a few little things here and little nuggets, and it's got my mind racing as to what he could be referring to. I just don't know. I mean, we always say it every month. You never know who's going to be here. You never know what might happen.
Yeah.
It's SHW. It's just anything can happen here. So, but he doesn't always come on before a show and start putting in these little nuggets, these little teases on these posts. And so I don't know what's in store.
Earlier this week we celebrated the 2-year anniversary of the shocking appearance.
That's right.
Of Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Right before their Double or Nothing pay-per-view, which really kind of launched what we now know as AEW.
Yep.
What we have learned is anything can happen here at SHW. And, we don't know what's going through the maniacal mind of Gary Lamb. But what we do know is whenever he drops a teaser like that, something is bound to happen. And so we saw surprises last month, of course, with Zicky Dice showing up and all kinds of things. You just don't know what's going to happen here at SHW. I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. We're going to all find out together. So I just hope that our voices hold up, and because it's got potential to be an absolutely crazy night. All of these matches could main event a card anywhere else in the country.
Absolutely.
They're all going to happen here tonight on the same card. I'm excited. It's going to be incredible.
I kind of like that. The maniacal mind.
The maniacal mind of Gary Lamb. I promise you, he is always cooking up something.
Yep.
And I don't know what's going on in the recipes in his mind,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure it's something that we're going to go, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
But it tastes good.
Oh, it's going to be good, folks. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
You still have time to get out here. And, we got a couple more minutes here on the pre-show, but that's the main matches there on the card. And, somebody that I forgot to mention earlier, now he's not involved in a match, or he might be involved, but he's not technically in a match. I just saw him walking by a second ago on crutches, still from, if you recall, at the last show
month,
when his ankle appeared to have gotten snapped in that chair by Logan Chase. Of course, I'm talking about Hold My Beer Hansen. We talked about you were talking about Huck earlier and what song they might come out to.
Yes.
So that's something to keep in mind. Now, with the crutches, with the injured ankle, will he still come to ringside to support Huck? Because I don't know. To me, that's putting yourself in harm's way.
It is.
I don't know if he'll do that. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll just hang backstage and watch on a monitor back there. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But I just saw him, and it made me think, I wonder if he's going to plan on coming out here tonight.
Well, it's interesting because we know that Logan Chase is going to be with Cyrus the Destroyer.
Yeah.
So on one hand, you almost want to make sure that for Huck to have a fair fight, that he's got somebody in his corner to really kind of offset Logan Chase. And, of course, we remember last month it was Logan Chase actually getting in the ring against Hold My Beer Hansen, which – on paper,
what a sight!
Oh my! And really, it was quite the sight until, of course, we saw interference from the Honor Society, and we saw the way that went. With the Honor Society not being here tonight, that creates an interesting scenario. So if Hansen does show up here tonight to be kind of the second to Huck, this could again kind of even the playing field, or maybe even give a slight advantage, perhaps to Huck. We'll find out here tonight.
It could very well, and of course, I got to think that Hansen will at least want to come out here to see the fans, because that's the other thing I noticed, too, as fans were coming in. There are a lot of All-Star Special signs in the crowd.
Yes.
A lot of All-Star Special T-shirts in the crowd. Of course, you and I'm not going to lie, you and I also purchased some All-Star. Yeah. We gave in. We purchased the All-Star Special T-shirts, which you can get here at the merch tables out front, by the way.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, it's going to be a heck of a show. You got Ben Buchanan, AC Mack. Then, of course, like we mentioned, Huck versus Cyrus, two bosses going at it.
Yes.
You got the tag team title match, Tech X taking on Lethal Poison. You got the women's match, Danny Jordan, Catalina Perez, Ashton Starr, Snoop Strikes going one-on-one. Zicky Dice, the outlandish one, taking on the working team captain, Owen Knight. And, of course, the big main event like we talked about, that big bunkhouse brawl match, which is the Ali and Towers taking on the Team of Fear. And, folks, it's going to be something else. I'm telling you what, I don't even know how much more we can describe this other than you need to be here to see it for yourself.
Yes.
However, we understand that not everybody can make it. Right. And if you can't make it, just know that in the very near future, this show will appear on IWTV.
Absolutely.
And you can go there and sign up. It's independentwrestling.tv. You use the code SHW. You can get your first 5 days free. And, of course, you can binge watch all of our shows.
That's right.
Including last month. And, of course, get caught up for this one.
Yeah.
And hopefully in the next week or two, this one will be up there as well.
Absolutely.
And you can check it out on IWTV. So I got to tell you, I think it's going to wrap us up here on the pre-show. But I'm excited. We still have 30 minutes until the bell.
Yes.
And that's 30 more minutes. It's going to feel like forever. Come on, man. Just come on already. Like, it took us forever to get to the pre-show. I've been sitting here all afternoon going, come on, 7 o'clock. So here we go. We're excited. And any last words for the fans at home before we let them go here?
As we always do, thank you so much for your support. The SHW faithful is indeed amazing. And with that said, it's time to get out of here, folks. We will see you here in the Action Building. And if you're not here, get here.
That's right. You know when they cut our spotlight that it's time for us to wrap things up. So, hey, we'll see you soon. But until then, this has been SHW.
This is our wrestling.
Southern Iron just got outlandish.
Look at that jackhammer. But now Corey Hollis is distracting. He's handful of tights. He got him.
You're pissing me off.
Gutter.
Honor Society, technical excellence. Immediately, the winner takes the lethal poison for the tag title.
That might have snapped his ankle there.
This is not good.
Everything that you do in Southern Honor matters. Every last one of your actions matters, and they have consequences.
Next month, in a bunkhouse brawl, there